Bonnie Gurry is the co-founder and CEO of GreenPortfolio. This VC-backed fintech startup democratizes climate data so consumers can leverage personal finance to make a positive climate impact. Bonnie focuses her career on climate. She has worked as the North American Clean Energy Lead at BASF and Renewable Energy Resources and Technology Engineer at the New York Power Authority. She also has a background in venture capital and technology licensing with a focus on cleantech investments.
Hello, fintech builders and leaders. This is Guts, Grit, and the Fintech, the show for strong-minded entrepreneurs who are not afraid to transform the financial industry and who are not afraid to take the risk, to get the reward, and build a better financial future. And I'm Vasyl Soloshchuk from INSART, a fintech engineer and startup studio and innovation lab. And I'm really excited to discuss today's topic, which will be about the impactful investing and how you can influence actually and analyze how you impact the climate change. And let me introduce you our today's guest, Bonnie Gurry from GreenPortfolio. Hello, Bonnie.
Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. So let's start. And my very first question is, can you tell us about your background and what is actually GreenPortfolio?
Sure. I originally was a mechanical engineer. I actually have an undergrad and graduate degree in mechanical engineering from Columbia and Caltech. I used to work in clean rooms, building very tiny MEMS devices and carbon nanotubes. That was my original background. Upon graduating, I actually worked in the financial software industry for a bit before deciding that I really wanted to dedicate my career to fighting climate change. So I worked for a number of years developing not only renewable energy projects, materials, but also helping to source and identify companies in the space for investment. So I often had spent my time at this intersection of climate and finance and realized just how critical it was that we are actually allocating capital to the projects, to the materials, to the innovations that are going to solve climate change. And 10 years ago, it was limping along, frankly, especially at a global level. The level of investment necessary to actually solve climate change was just not there. Luckily, in the past, especially 5 years, I'd say, we've seen a real uptick in this. But one thing that really bothered me throughout my career was that I wasn't able to fully utilize my own money to fight climate change. In fact, I didn't even really understand what my money was up to. And how you invest, where you bank, what financial products you use, these all have climate impact. It's something a lot of people don't think about. But when you give $1 to the bank does something with your dollar. It doesn't sit in a vault somewhere, right? They're out there funding projects. They're out there building a future. The question is it the future you want? And so it really frustrated me that there was no simple way for me to look across all my accounts and figure out exactly what my money was up to from a climate perspective. And that's really where GreenPortfolio started from, this little idea of it should be really easy to see what percentage of my money is directly invested in coal companies, right? And as my financial life got more complicated, that question got harder. And GreenPortfolio is a platform that not only allows you to audit all of your finances at a variety of different banks for climate impact, but then will connect you with further services to help you manage that impact, to actually, be in the driver's seat for investing and using your money in a sustainable manner.
So probably I will have a pretty controversial question here. So do you see your solution more like a real vehicle for investment or as a charity organization?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely do not see our company as a charitable organization. This is a very lucrative corner of fintech. investing sustainably, investing with climate in mind is definitely something that it requires extra skill, is a kind of higher level service. So we absolutely see this as a value added service for affluent millennials. We are not an investment vehicle ourselves. We provide services that allow you to manage your climate impact in the manner in which you choose, much like an investment manager is also there to provide a service. So are we. So yeah, absolutely, we are not a altruistic or charitable endeavor.
So speaking in terms of business model and value proposition, so how would you define more specifically who are your target clients, what kind of problem you're actually trying to solve with your solution?
Yeah, so we're kind of like a marketplace. So on one side, we do have users who are auditing their finances, trying to find better financial solutions, looking for new providers, et cetera. And then on the other side, we've actually been building out this network of climate focused financial services and providers who are eager to connect with our retail facing clients. So um, this allows us to provide our services for free to retail investors. And we actually are charging the service providers, the financial services providers, for access to our users, essentially.
Yeah, so for sure. So can you tell us, please, what is your current stage of the company? So are you early stage, pre-seed, seed invested?
Sure. Yeah. So we're a pre-seed company. We put our beta products, our retail-facing product, out on the market last year. We currently have around $70 million in assets on our platform being analyzed for climate impact. We're imminently, hopefully, about to roll out a new service. We're pending SEC approval that will allow us to really allow our users to connect with the financial services and providers that they've been looking for. And we're working on developing an algorithmic matching system that allows us to do this between our users and these financial services providers.
So it's very important for the early stage startups like yourself to have a strong team members along with your site. So can you tell us who are on your team?
Sure. Yeah. So GreenPortfolio was co-founded by myself and Elizabeth Landau, who has a very strong background in both B2B and B2C marketing. For instance, if you've ever had a Stella beer, she used to run all of the marketing campaigns for that. And so she's really leading the charge on this more client-facing building capacities that we're working on. On our team, we also have PhDs in behavioral science and psychology. We have data science experts, of course, as well as we just brought on our team a former programmer from Google, as well as an expert in algorithmic matching. So really excited about like kind of how our team has expanded lately and adapted to allow us to roll out new services and products for our users.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that you will be rolling out some new service. So can you tell us, like, from the perspective, where do you stand from the product perspective and from the go-to-market perspective? So what are you going to do during the next couple months?
Yeah, so we're really adding on to the current platform that we've already built. So we're building into the current platform that allows us to pull in accounts, rate all of your assets for climate impact. So we can look at your stocks, your funds, your bank account, where you're banking, all of that. And now we're adding another layer on top that allows us to match you with services that we think will be a really good fit for what your climate priorities are. And everyone really goes about defining climate impact kind of personally. So for some people, it's incredibly important. It's their top line issue that they want to make sure their money is supporting exactly what they want the future to be. For other people, they're like, what? I want to invest in oil and gas companies that are really forward thinking. That's how I want to approach managing my climate impact. For other people, they just want to be able to manage their money using a standard kind of ESG mentality. All of these things are perfectly reasonable. And we're happy that we're going to be able to really allow our users to grow their money and their climate impact in line with their values.
So can we say that Green Portfolio allows some kind of alternative investment, or you do not see yourself as an alternative investment?
No, so we do. Green Portfolio itself does not offer any investments directly. So we are working though to connect our users with providers who do have bespoke or alternative investments in the climate space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if I'm a retail investor and I would like to start, looking at my portfolios from the climate change perspective. So what should be my first steps here?
Yeah, well, you can go to greenportfolio.com and create an account. It's free for anyone in the United States to do. And we can very easily, within a few minutes, pull in all of your holdings and give you an idea of what your money is up to. Most people have never seen their finances in that perspective. And it might sound like it would be really simple to know what percentage of your money is in coal or oil and gas or able, or it might seem really easy to be able to do that, but it's actually pretty difficult. Most people have many different accounts. Within those accounts, they have funds of funds. So you end up having this kind of Russian doll effect where you have to really dig through things. And Green Portfolio does that for you in minutes. It takes about 3 minutes for us to pull in your accounts, analyze it, and give you an idea of what your money is up to.
So what exactly will I see as a user if I start using Green Portfolio to analyze my portfolios?
So you'll be able to see right away a high-level climate impact score that is proprietary to Green Portfolio. It's on a scale from 0 to 100, where 100 is very good. You'll also see what percentage of the companies that you're invested in are really utilizing things like renewable energy sources for their day-to-day operations. You'll be able to see what percentage of your money is in a coal company. What percentage of your money is in an oil and gas company? So these are things you can see right away. That's really easy to do. And then if you want, we can run another algorithm that will allow us to connect you to further financial services. But that's launching soon. That's not currently on the platform, but should be shortly.
So if my financial advisor is still not using the Green Portfolio, can I introduce Green Portfolio to my financial advisor somehow?
If you would like to, you can absolutely do that. Long term, we would love to introduce you to a financial advisor who does this with who performs their financial management services with climate in mind. But you're more than welcome, and many of our users have shared their results with their financial advisors and said, I had no idea my money was invested this heavily in tar sands in Canada, right? Like they're kind of shocked often to see what their money is up to.
So many financial advisors, they might be using some kind of portfolio management platforms already.
Mhm.
So what's your strategy in terms of potential integrations with other platforms so that they can interact with Green Portfolio? So anything here?
Currently, no, we're not looking to replace the or even supplement at this juncture what financial managers are using. Perhaps long term, that might be something we consider. But at the moment, it's we're really focused on helping the client understand their money, and we looked into we considered that option, but a lot of the different financial advisors, et cetera, as you mentioned, already have a pretty extensive system set up. And perhaps someday we'll consider that, but not at this juncture.
So Bonnie, if summarizing everything we have discussed, so how would you define what's the mission for Green Portfolio? What's your main message for the market?
Yeah, our mission is to really help millennials and Gen Z to manage their money in line with their values. And for millennials especially, climate is very, very important to us. And so we're not here to convince someone about climate change or to say you must do this. We're there to help the people who already want to do this, which is the vast majority of millennials are at least curious, if not actively pursuing as many means as they can to fight climate change. And our message is your wallet is one of the most important ones you could be tackling. There's some really interesting data that came out of Europe actually looking at, what is the difference between managing your investments with climate in mind versus like daily actions like eating less meat or riding your bicycle. And managing your financial impact for climate was actually over 20 times more effective than daily lifestyle changes. And this in some ways it's a lot easier to manage your money and to actually kind of set it up and be on top of it once, right? And then continue to foster financial and climate growth within your own portfolio than all of these other things, on a daily basis, we all feel guilty about doing or not doing from a climate perspective. So we're really excited to be able to kind of open this door to a lot of individuals who have wanted to do this for a while and have found it really difficult to do.
So I personally think that it's great to have that kind of mission. So you're not only focused on return on investment, because many of the financial products, financial platforms, they're more focused like on the, what would be the return on investment, what would be the risk, but also to have this additional dimension in terms of what is the impact for climate. So, and what's your position here? So how do you see this? How you can actually impact yourself into climate change? So thank you for sharing all this today, and thank you for being with us today, Bonnie.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and it was me, Vasyl Soloshchuk, and Bonnie Gurry. And thank you for everyone who are watching us today. And let's keep building the brighter financial future together. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Still watching us and have not subscribed yet? Let's fix this. Also, don't forget to like this video and take a look at the other episodes we have. See ya!